Hello and welcome back to Clicks and Classics with Sherlock Holmes The Awakened. Last time we found out that a Maori servant disappeared, and now Sherlock Holmes is investigating, and we are back in his apartment, 221B Baker Street, and we have to examine a few objects. And so let's do that right away. First, look around a little bit in the apartment. Maybe we can interact with something else now that we are back. With a pipe, some pictures. We talked about the harpoon and this painting. This might be a picture of Queen Victoria, maybe. This looks like an Indian shoe, a slipper, a violin, bullet holes. So let's go back to our desk and see if we can do something here. Okay, we have water, acid, spirit, and solvent.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Now it can't be used for anything.
Oh, I probably have to do it this way.
Very interesting.
Okay. Piece of cloth found at Stanwix on the door lintel of the young Maori's room. It is definitely woven flax. This cloth was dyed, yet not in England. Without the slightest doubt, this material originated in India. Taking into account the height of the lintel, the only explanation is that a large man with a turban made from this cloth crossed the threshold. However, there is no trace of such a man in the garden, which means he knew how to land in such a way as to leave no trace when he jumped, and that his shoes have a smooth, flat sole like Indian slippers. With the other evidence included, this man is undoubtedly Indian and arrived in England only recently. Okay.
Nothing.
Doesn't seem like I can pick up the scalpel. What about this? Oh, now here I can use these.
These rope fibers are clearly hemp.
Ah.
Now, about the origin of these stains.
Okay, so pick these out.
Nothing. Nothing.
Okay, can't further investigate.
The meatball ignited but failed to burn completely. There are, without a doubt, mustard seeds present, probably in exotic form. What could be the other components, I wonder?
Okay. Doesn't seem that I can do anything else with it. Okay. Probably have to use it here now.
Let's see if I can obtain a reaction with the help of my chemicals and apparatus. Now it can't be used for anything.
Oh, water?
Now it can't be used for anything.
Apparently not. Acid?
Now it can't be used for anything.
Oh, probably have to light it?
Now it can't be used for anything.
No. Can I examine the fish scale, though?
According to this monograph, the fish scale appears to be from a perch, a saltwater fish with high commercial and culinary value.
Okay, fish scale found on the footstep traces in Stanwix's garden. This scale is identical to that of a perch, a saltwater fish of high commercial value. Doesn't seem anything else. Solvent, okay. Okay. It's doing something.
This is evidently coal soot mixed with water, and given the absence of any salt particulates, it must be fresh water.
Fibers found on the wall in Stanwic's garden identified as hemp, likely from rope. They were stained with traces of a black substance, undoubtedly coal soot mixed with water. The water is fresh, as I found no presence of saline. Okay, then we can probably put this in there as well.
Let's see if I can obtain a reaction with the help of my chemicals and apparatus.
Maybe get the solvent?
Now it can't be used for anything.
Okay, fine. The spirit.
Now it can't be used for anything.
Acid. Okay.
Perhaps if I
the
apply
acid
heat.
did the trick. Now the matches.
Incredible. I note a strong presence of opium blended with a concentrate of morphine.
Okay.
The remaining elements are a mystery to me.
Small lump found in the Maori's shack analysis indicates it contains opium blended with a strong distillate of morphine. I was unable to identify the remaining components of
I
the
should
mixture.
look from the window and see where Watson is.
Yeah, let's have a look for Watson. You can never trust that guy. And now we are Watson.
There's a good lad. How does it go?
Hello, sir.
My associate, Sherlock Holmes, said you might have information for him about... now, what was it?
The Princess, Gov. He was looking for the scuttlebutt on this here princess what we visiting. Exciting goings on. Her bodyguard went missing the first morning after she got here. Nice job to look after a princess's body, innit, sir? They say he went out on the town having a go with the ladies, if you get my meaning. Like as not, he was trapped by some gang of toughs. Otherwise, who'd get the best of him? A proper giant he was by all accounts. Do I get me coins then, sir? Oh, thank you, sir. Obliged, I'm sure.
Okay. So he got some information on the whole princess Norwegian. Was it Norwegian? It was Scandinavian at the very least.
The Strand! The Strand! By the Strand!
We can't do anything here. Let's switch to first person to navigate the streets. That's a little easier. Hello. Wow, that is some Joker-like makeup, madame. Like if it rains, if it would start to rain, she would probably look like the Joker. But I mean, if she feels comfortable with this, it's her decision, right? So, anything here? Oh, Miss Fleming isn't around anymore. And we were supposed to get to Barnes so he can give us maybe a book about Maori, if I remember correctly.
Good day, my dear Barnes. What about your...
Tell me, Dr. Watson, physicians are obliged to keep their patients' confidences, aren't they?
Of course. Whatever do you mean?
A moment ago, Mr. Holmes came to my shop and seemed very well informed about the details of my recent accident. You and I both know that there is only one person who knew about my condition, correct?
Sir, I can assure you...
No, please, say nothing. It is so easy to ridicule my despair. But I love her. Can't you understand? I love her.
yes, indeed. In fact, I came here merely to see if you have a book on the Maoris.
Over there, on the bottom shelf.
Poor guy. He just wants some lovin' with Miss Fleming. Bottom shelf somewhere. Pointed towards this. The indicator where it might be. Oh, there. People at the Earth's end. It is important to realize that the Maoris create peculiar pictorial writings in the soil in order to express much more than simple artistic emotions. First, one must recognize that dreams are the center of the Maori spiritual basis. According to ancient tribal dogma, all men live in a vast universal dream world, and our individual dreams represent our communion with invisible sacred spirits, which are all around us. When a Maori has a particularly notable dream with prophetic or moral value, he draws important moments of his dream in a symbolic fashion on the soul. The drawing is interpreted by the tribal shaman, who can order a radical change in tribal life depending on what the dream tells him about the future. This behavior may seem incredible to those born in the civilized world. We require substantial fact and conjutation, sometimes too much, before changing important aspects of our lives. But our scientific observations over the last 10 years reveal several interesting things. First and foremost, not all Maori dreams do inspire these drawings. Secondly, when drawings are made, few are found to have true symbolic meaning of events that will affect tribal life. Thus, these prophetic occurrences are quite rare. Furthermore, as mentioned earlier, in these wild and inhospitable lands, the interpretation of a dream as prophesying great change is unlikely to be a great shock, as nature does little half-heartedly in such places. The shaman is going to understand that if a particular spirit condescended to send a message to his people via a dream, it is a matter of their very survival. Thus, we arrive at the following conclusion. Has not our sophisticated Western world dampened these same primitive people's senses in ourselves, deeming them wrongly, in my opinion, lowly and unworthy? For can we, with all our scientific tools and superior knowledge, foresee the many disasters that hail down on us with the same reliability? If the apocalypse must happen one day, I am sure that the first warning sign will not be found in our august scientific or governmental corridors, but in the lone drawings of a naked and illiterate aborigine in the fine soil of the bush. Perhaps he will have time to seek shelter for his people. As for us... Okay. Interesting. So we saw some kind of drawing in the soil in the little shack where the Maori servant
I will take it.
was living.
Farewell, Barnes.
Goodbye, Barnes. And good luck with Miss Fleming. Now, let's run back to Holmes. Tell him that we were a good boy. Got all the information that he asked us to get. There he is. Hey, Holmesy Bomesy. No. Oh, I
What
just
on
didn't
earth
show
did
me
you
the
say
prompt.
to Barnes to put him in such a state?
Not now, Watson. Although I'm sure this bit of news is most significant, it must wait. We are piecing together a singular affair. This abduction story is much more complex than it appears. As I noted before, our next move is to locate the place of employment for one of the villains who abducted the young Maori. What part of London would such a man call home?
From what part of London does one of the kidnappers of the young Maori come? What part? I remember these being quite tough, since it's a pretty open question. But so what part? I don't think if we necessarily need a district name. But maybe, like, we know that one of the kidnappers is of Indian descent. Pretty strong. We found some opium. We found the fish scale, which could maybe mean like a fisherman or somewhere from the harbor. What if I try harbor?
Your intentions are good, my dear Watson, but you have missed everything of importance.
I don't know the difference between port, harbor,
Yes,
and...
Watson, there is little room for
okay.
doubt. Our man
So I have
is
the
a
right idea.
bargeman who works at the Thames River wharfs. He is more precisely employed to transport and handle fish brought in by various ships. Our next step is obvious. We must find a cab and make haste to the Thames, near the warehouses.
Yeah, I thought that this was the case because the fish was the only evidence that wasn't cleared. And we know, or my assumption was that since we have to deal with at least one Indian person who just recently came here, that it might involve some sea travel.
I have no reason to go there.
Can't go there. We're also back to being good old
What do you make of this, Holmes?
Holmes. Let's see. Can we do anything here? Don't think so. Okay, means we have to go to the port. I remember. We maybe have to. Oh yeah, I can just use the map in my inventory. Let's go to the wharf.
Why did we come here, Holmes? Brr, it's rather sinister here, and so cold.
Precisely, Watson. Ah, good. Here's a pub. We can warm ourselves inside.
Excellent, Holmes.
And there we have the pub. And that is not a puppy, but a bar. A pub. And with that, I will end this episode, and we will check out this pub, the Cursed Mermaid it is called, and see what we can find out there. If we can find out more about the two kidnappers, or the Maori servant that got kidnapped. Thank you all for joining me today, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me, and also brings you more content in the future. And I hope that you have a wonderful day, a wonderful time. Until next time, see you around. Bye-bye.